Hello friends, pirates, fellow smugglers, and runners. I'm sharing a walkthrough of my Cyberrunner's smuggling ship, the Shadowrunner. I went with an asymmetric shape for this one, partly for aesthetic, but also to accommodate the layout. She's something between a pinnace and a light freighter with about 2,000 cargo capacity, a Class B reactor, and decent shield and weaponry. With this ship I dabbled a bit more with the decorating, and I've got to admit that it was really fun. My Cyberrunner travels with a small crew, so this ship has individual quarters for myself and the adoring fan, which is where I focused most of my decorating efforts. With the other habs, I enhanced pre-existing configurations using Miss O's better walls and doors, and added clutter, junk items, and furniture where I could. The lower level is working areas. I have the Deimos Workshop and a larger computer core down here, important for a Cyberrunner. The open shelves here were a bit trickier to fill than the last ship I did them in. I had a hard time finding the right slope in these Deimos habs, but I got there in the end. Just trying to add things to make the area look functional. This is the Deimos 2x2 computer core, and with one exception, when I first built this ship, it was all Deimos habs, built at the Deimos shipbuilder in the Sol system. I went there for the Ares bridge, but even with an asymmetric body, it resembled the Banshee and Naginata more than I liked. So it was an editing process to reach this final, in quotation marks, design. This back corner was fairly open, so I added a little break area here, and you can see that a couple of my mods are a little bit glitchy, but I thought it looks neat with the triangles partly sunk into the wall. As a relatively new ship layout designer, I'm keeping things simple to minimize my frustration with the door and ladder placement. I'm still trying to figure it out. But this ship was originally the Frontier, and I decided to keep the all-in-one no matter how else I changed it for this character. So that's this room here, and I just went through and added some furniture and clutter to it. Next, we have the adoring fan's quarters, and if you've spent any time with him, you know that guy is a huge fan of coffee. He likes it almost as much as he likes me, so I gave him a bunch of Terra Brew in his sitting area. In the middle section of the hab, I made a little entertainment area on one side, and on the other, I worked around those awkward support struts with my favorite awkward space filler, and I used the glass walls to close it in and make it look like a little greenhouse in here. Last is the bedroom space, which was quite small once I closed off the structural stuff. Just enough room to squeeze a bed in, but, you know, what else do you need in here? Back out to the Frontier hab, I've added some weapon racks in the empty space on that wall behind the nav table, and I put a little research area in the forward section. This is the control station. It connects to my captain's quarters and the cockpit. Leading into the captain's quarters is a storeroom. I'm about to start the Crimson Fleet questline, so my mannequin here is holding my next outfit. And this hab is a Nova Galactic furnished captain's quarters, and I was able to fit a little bit more stuff in here. Because it was already furnished, I was trying to balance out the Nova practical functionality with some of the finer things, some luxury textiles. Just make it look nice in here, you know? I found it a bit easier to decorate in the empty quarters, to be honest, but I still like how this one turned out. The only thing I think this hab is lacking is a private bathroom, but I was willing to compromise because I like it a lot otherwise, especially the layout. There was enough space to get some things I wanted in here, and I was able to cover up a really bright, unnecessary screen. It isn't perfect, but it works. There are a lot of greebles and wall textures in here, and again, I was just trying to balance that with the decorations. If I redid this one, though, I would consider starting with an empty hab. Back through the control station and up toward the cockpit, I put a bit more clutter in here, but otherwise this was already well furnished, so I didn't need to add very much to it. And here's the cockpit, so this is all for the tour. I hope you enjoyed this look at my Shadowrunner. Feel free to drop me a line if you have any questions or comments. My mods and ship hab list will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Catch a smile out there.